India's equity derivatives landscape is undergoing a tectonic shift. After months of back and forth, both NSE and BSE have officially locked in new expiry days. NSE shifting to Tuesday and BSE will shift to Thursday after the approval which has come in from market regulator, and this will happen starting September this year. The move has far-reaching implications from trading volumes to risk management to algo strategies. To unpack what this really means for investors, brokers and exchanges themselves, I'm joined by two key voices from the capital markets ecosystem, Mrugang Paranjpe as well as Sriram Subramaniam, but we will go there. Before that, we also had a conversation with the BSE MD and CEO, Mr. S. Ramamurthy, and NSE's Chief Business Development Officer, Mr. Krishnan. Let's listen into that conversation first.
NSE has requested for Tuesday. BSE was having Tuesday and it was very comfortable with Tuesday. Since NSE has requested for Tuesday, in the overall interest of the market, BSE has taken Thursday. Change of expiry days has not been very unusual in India these days, and so there has been a set procedure as to how it gets dealt with. And the regulators have also stipulated how to go. The existing contracts will continue till August 31st. New contracts with new expiry will be from the 1st of September. No fresh weekly contracts expiring on Tuesday will be issued by us. So they have clearly laid out the procedure. Notwithstanding that, even more clearly, BSE will also be giving a very detailed process to the members so that the process is smooth for everybody.
NSE has been having discussions with members in both in India and outside India, as in those who are trading on NSE have expressed a desire to see that NSE products expire on Monday if possible. So we had therefore issued a circular to go live in the first week of April with Monday expiries. Regulations permitted this, and obviously we could have therefore gone ahead and got this done. However, SEBI issued a consultation paper on 27th March and had requested NSE to postpone our plan for Monday expiry. Thereafter, SEBI in the consultation paper proposed only 2 days in a week as expiry days potentially, which was Tuesday and Thursday. BSE at that point in time, in fact, changed their, this was, when the earlier rationalization took place, they had changed to Tuesday from Friday. And in fact, even before that, they have changed a few times. And there was no impact at that point in time for them. However, given whatever has happened in terms of the consultation paper, we had requested SEBI to give us Tuesday expiry. Now, after about 3 months or so, we have got the approval for Tuesday expiry. So this is really the sequence of events in a nutshell.
All right, so the story is clear that the expiry days are going to shift. NSE will have expiry day of FNO on Tuesday and BSE will shift its expiry day from Tuesday to Thursday. I have with me Mr. Mrugang Paranjpe as well as Sriram Subramaniam. Welcome once again, gentlemen. First, I want to come to you, Mr. Paranjpe, as someone who has seen the market structure evolve over decades. How do you see the expiry day bifurcation impacting the derivatives ecosystem per se?
So I think we have held the view that SEBI should have actually given a more free environment to exchanges and allowed them to choose whichever days they want. That is what we had said in our response to the SEBI consultative paper. But SEBI, having decided that there would be 2 expiry days, I think we are now going to see 1 day per exchange, which in the way SEBI wanted, will ensure that volatility is restricted to that 1 day in terms of that particular market. So I think from a SEBI perspective, this goes a long way in terms of what they were expecting to achieve. From a market perspective, we are still hopeful that SEBI will now allow market participants to have more freedom. And hopefully, if it is going to be 1 day per exchange, the exchange will have some more freedom in choosing if they want to have more contracts expiring on the same day, because at the end of the day, volatility is going to be concentrated around that day itself. So I think, yes, there will be some shift in the way people do their trading, but we have seen expiry days change in the market, and that has not created any big tectonic shifts. But yes, in terms of getting stability to what was the way forward, we think this is a more finality to this regime. But yes, we are also hopeful that SEBI will allow more freedom to the exchanges so that they can have more contracts expiring if required on the same day.
Subramaniam, I want to come to you to understand this scenario from fairness point of view and also governance point of view. How do you see this shift? Now, two exchanges have actually exchanged the expiry days.
Per se, yes, both exchanges have changed. Probably NSE got their way through, as Sri Ram Krishnan was mentioning. They sought for Monday. They would have been comfortable with Monday, but because of SEBI's request, they got Tuesday. So BSE had to perforce move to Thursday in that sense. BSE obviously did not want to have a date which is the same date as NSE. So to that extent, BSE being the smaller exchanges of the two, I think had to compromise to a large extent. But I don't think it will significantly impact, though all market participants are expecting a couple of points loss of market share for BSE. I would think, but volatility wise and stability wise, I don't think there will be any impact on the market per se.
Mr. Paranjpe, as you were explaining that you are in favor of more expiry days, will this step create a kind of a arbitrage between the exchanges, or could it enhance price discovery across the week? And coming to the point which you were mentioning, had it been all the days like it happened earlier that the expiry was there on almost all the days of week. So how do you balance this out?
So I think this matter has been debated now quite a bit, and SEBI had a consultation paper as well. So in that sense, I don't think we should be going back too much to this topic. But yes, our view was that the markets can choose which days are best suited for them in terms of expiry, and actually in terms of concentrating the expiries on just 2 out of the 5 days would, we believe, actually increase the volatility and the risks in the market. But having said that, like we also mentioned, we hopefully now will have the freedom for all exchanges coming where they can choose more contracts. Because today, as you know, exchanges can only have one contract expiring on a weekly basis. And I think that is also something which we hope SEBI will have a relook at.
All right. Mr. Subramaniam, I want to understand from you, do you see this as a benefit to algo traders kind of a scenario whereby now the expiries are getting exchanged? How do you think it will impact the ecosystem overall?
To some extent, yes, algo traders and other market participants need to readjust their algos. Because the liquidity is more in NSE, definitely theta decay is more over the weekend. So NSE traders get a longer horizon, 5 days between Thursday and Tuesday, whereas BSE traders probably get only a couple of days. So the BSE contracts, I mean. So from that perspective, algo trading, there could be more volumes in algo trading and more volatility. Slightly increase in volatility or increase in volumes from that perspective.
Mr. Paranjpe, if I talk about NSE per se, because this was the exchange who actually made the application to SEBI, and later on it was, I guess, mutually decided between the two exchanges to change the expiry days. I want to understand how will it impact NSE per se?
So I think we heard, and you played the recording of Sriram. NSE has done its homework, and NSE was of the belief that having an expiry earlier part of the week was more beneficial to the sort of ecosystem of traders and participants who were there. They would have obviously liked Monday from that perspective, as was explained by Sriram. But I think in that sense, the whole move to having Tuesday going towards NSE is something which will be a development which NSE will definitely welcome, and I think will benefit the overall trading ecosystem of the NSE.
Mentioned about overall trading ecosystem, Mr. Paranjpe, do you think in the long run it is going to be a win-win situation for both the exchanges?
I think India's markets have shown a secular growth, and I think that is one thing which I have no doubt. Once we see the stability, there was some uncertainty. What will be the expiries? Who will get which day? Now we know very clearly from September there are going to be 2 expiry days, which exchanges on which day. I definitely believe this will be a big step towards both the exchanges growing, and which is why when sometimes we compare saying this is the market share of one exchange versus the other. I just think it's a little misnomer, because as long as the pie is growing and the pie of the overall derivatives market keeps growing, I think it will be really great for India as an economy to see the derivatives market grow. It then won't really matter whether there is a few percentage points shift from one exchange to the other. So overall, I think this is a very positive development, and derivatives markets will continue to grow in India.
All right, that's the word coming in our two experts. Thank you so much, Mr. Paranjpe and Mr. Subramaniam, for joining at this hour. So definitely expiries are going to change. The day is going to change when FNO expiry happens for NSE as well as BSE, but there will be sufficient time which will be given to the ecosystem to move to the new expiry days till September. That time is already given. Thank you so much for joining at this hour in this special coverage of expiry day change. Thanks for watching.